Husband forced me into an open marriage and threatened divorce. I agreed, thinking I'd hate it, but I found amazing partner and had the best sex of my life, while he struggled to find dates. Hey everyone, this is a long story. I hope you'll stay with me until the end. For privacy reasons, I'm going to use fake names. Let's dive in. So, I've been married to my husband Jasper for about 7 years. Things had been pretty stable, or so I thought. Then, out of nowhere, Jasper hits me with a bombshell. He wants an open marriage. He tells me that he's been feeling suffocated, that he needs more excitement, and if I don't agree, he'll file for divorce. Just like that. I was devastated. I mean, we had our issues, but nothing that felt unfixable. We'd been through thick and thin together. The thought of losing him was terrifying. I loved him so much, but the idea of an open marriage was equally horrifying. I felt like my heart out was being ripped out of my chest. After days of arguing, crying, and not sleeping, I caved. I agreed, thinking I'd hate every minute of it, but at least we'd still be together. Maybe, just maybe, he'd realize that this wasn't what he wanted after all. The first few weeks were pure hell. Jasper was giddy with excitement, setting up dates, flirting with random women online. I felt like I was watching my marriage crumble right before my eyes. The thought of being with someone else made me sick. I couldn't imagine being intimate with another man. Then, one night, I was at a bar with my friend Elowen. She knew the whole story and was trying to cheer me up. That's when I met Fletcher. He was different, charming, kind, and genuinely interested in me. We started talking, and before I knew it, we were laughing and sharing stories like old friends. I was still hesitant, but Elowen convinced me to give it a shot. "What do you have to lose?" she said. So I did. I gave Fletcher my number and we started texting. He made me feel alive again, something I hadn't felt in a long time. Fletcher and I went on our first date, and it was magical. We talked for hours about everything under the sun. There was an instant connection, something I never expected to feel with anyone other than Jasper. We continued seeing each other, and slowly, my initial dread turned into excitement. Fletcher was attentive, caring, and passionate. The sex was mind-blowing, better than anything I had ever experienced with Jasper. I felt guilty at first, but then I realized that Jasper had pushed me into this. He wanted an open marriage, and now he had to live with the consequences. Jasper, on the other hand, was struggling. He wasn't having much luck with his dates. Women were ghosting him, or they'd go out once and never call back. He was getting frustrated, and it was clear that his grand idea of an open marriage wasn't turning out the way he had envisioned. One night, Jasper came home after another failed date, visibly upset. "This isn't fair," he snapped. "Why are you having such a great time while I'm miserable?" I looked at him, feeling a mixture of anger and pity. "You wanted this, Jasper. You forced me into it. I never wanted any of this." We had a huge fight. He accused me of rubbing my happiness in his face, and I accused him of being selfish and short-sighted. The tension was unbearable. I realized that our marriage was hanging by a thread, and I wasn't sure if I even wanted to save it anymore. Jasper's jealousy grew as Fletcher and I got closer. He tried to guilt-trip me, saying that I was ruining our marriage, but the truth was, he had already ruined it the moment he threatened me with divorce. I was just trying to find some semblance of happiness in the mess he created. Things reached a breaking point one night when Jasper barged into the house, furious. He had been drinking, and I could see the anger etched on his face. "We need to talk," he said, slamming the door behind him. I knew this conversation was coming, but I wasn't prepared for the intensity of it. "What's going on?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. "This open marriage bullshit isn't working. I can't stand seeing you so happy while I'm miserable. I want us to go back to the way things were. Close the marriage. Now." I stared at him, feeling a surge of anger. "You're the one who wanted this, Jasper. You threatened me with divorce if I didn't agree, and now that you're not getting what you want to go back? It doesn't work like that." He looked taken aback, not expecting me to stand up to him. You're ruining our marriage, Iris. You and that fucking guy. You're the one who's happy while I'm stuck here, alone. Ruining our marriage? I shouted, my voice trembling with rage. You ruined it the moment you decided that your happiness was more important than ours. You didn't care about my feelings. You just wanted your cake and to eat it, too. The argument escalated. Jasper tried to guilt-trip me, saying I was being selfish, that I didn't care about him anymore. But the truth was, I had cared too much for too long, and now I was done. I wasn't going to let him manipulate me anymore. I'm not closing the marriage, Jasper. I'm done. I want a divorce, I said, finally voicing the decision that had been brewing inside me for weeks. Jasper's face fell. He looked like he'd been punched in the gut. You don't mean that. You're just angry. No, Jasper. I mean it. I can't keep doing this. I've found happiness with Fletcher, and I can't pretend that everything is okay between us anymore. I deserve better. We both do. He slumped into a chair, defeated. I never thought it would come to this. I thought we could fix things. There's nothing left to fix, I replied softly. You wanted an open marriage, and now you have to live with the consequences. I've found someone who makes me happy, who respects me, and who didn't force me into a situation I didn't want. The next few weeks were a whirlwind of paperwork, arguments, and tears. Jasper tried to convince me to change my mind, but I remained firm. I knew what I wanted, and it wasn't him anymore. The freedom and happiness I felt with Fletcher were things I couldn't give up. One evening, as I was packing my things, Jasper came into the room. Iris, I'm sorry. I know I messed up. I never wanted to hurt you. I know, I said, my voice calm, but it's too late for apologies. We both need to move on. Finally, the day of the divorce hearing arrived. It was surreal, standing in front of a judge, ending a marriage that had once meant the world to me. Jasper looked broken, but I felt a sense of relief. It was over. After the hearing, Fletcher was waiting for me outside the courthouse. He wrapped me in a tight hug, and I felt a weight lift off my shoulders. You okay? He asked. Yeah, I am, I replied, smiling through the tears. I'm finally free. Life with Fletcher was everything I had hoped for and more. He was kind, loving, and supportive. We moved in together, and every day felt like a new adventure. The sex was incredible, but more importantly, the emotional connection we shared was something I had never experienced before. One night, as we lay in bed, Fletcher turned to me. Iris, I want you to know that I'm here for you, no matter what. You've been through so much, and I want to make sure you never have to go through that kind of pain again. Tears filled my eyes as I hugged him tightly. Thank you, Fletcher. You've shown me what real love is. I never thought I'd find someone like you. Looking back, I realized that Jasper's demand for an open marriage had been a blessing in disguise. It forced me to confront my unhappiness and seek out what truly made me feel alive. I learned to stand up for myself and to prioritize my own happiness. To anyone reading this, I hope my story serves as a reminder that you deserve to be happy. Don't let anyone dictate your life or make you feel less than you are. It's okay to put yourself first and to seek out what makes you truly happy. Thank you for reading my story. If you have any questions or need someone to talk to, feel free to reach out. You're not alone in this.